going on, everyone, and welcome back to this week's episode of Outside the Arena with Mac and Griff. I'm Griff Senek, joined by my co-host Mac Rommel, and we're bringing you once again another episode of Outside the Arena. This week, obviously, not been too busy in the sports world. I mean, George Springer did end up signing with the Blue Jays. We talked about George Springer actually on our second channel, OTA Clips, before he signed. We both had him going to the Mets. Unfortunately, that did not happen. The Blue Jays gave him a 6-year, $150 million contract. But we do talk about some other free agents. So, like we said, OTA Clips, I'll put a link in the description. Check that out. Subscribe to that channel. That's going to be a breaking news kind of stuff. And, more like debate style segments, stuff like that will be on there. So that'll be pretty interesting to see. But today, we're just going with the normal episode. But before we start, I do want to give my condolences to the Aaron family. Rest in peace to Hank Aaron. One of the greatest players to ever play the game of Major League Baseball, unfortunately passed away today. I believe he was 86 years old. So, condolences, prayers go to his family. Huge loss for the game of baseball. But today, we'll uplift the mood. Not going to talk about any baseball, unfortunately, today, but we will talk some football. So, Mac, if you want to pull up your fantasy lineup, we will get started with that.
Let's do it. Last one of the year. We got to make it a good one. Got to get this dub. We got one so far. We got to get number 2 in the final week, I think. So it's going to be a tough one.
So this is going to be a weird one because there's 2 games. So, I feel like we kind of need to pick. Aaron Jones is even like risky against the frickin'. Oh my God.
Jones is questionable, but he'll probably play.
Leonard Fournette played good last week. I won't lie.
Yeah.
He looked really good last week.
I'm just kind of concerned about how he's done before that. He really hasn't even had an average game since like the beginning of November. That was kind of his first.
Yeah. Running back is thin this week.
Devin Singletary, I know he did terrible last week. Oh my gosh. Dang. And then you got Jamal Williams.
I think we have to pick Aaron Jones. I don't think we have a choice. I think we literally have to take him. And then pick another one of those Buccaneers guys. If maybe Fournette. What has Fournette done the past few weeks?
There's 2 big.
Okay, that's pretty good. But yeah, let's put him in, and we can always swap him out for Rojo if need be. Yep. Why don't we get the defense out of the way real quick?
All right, that even may be the best one.
Yeah, these are all high-powered offenses, so we're gonna go with that one probably.
Oh yeah, cheapest quarterback maybe out the way too.
Well, the cheapest one is Brady, so I guess we'll probably take him for 28. I don't hate that. This is not even that complicated, guys. This is just pretty straight to the point.
The quickest one we do. Yeah, Cameron Brate.
Cameron Brate could be interesting, bro. He's been playing really good.
Yeah, big game last week.
What was his points last week? Like exactly.
7.
Oh, he only had. I thought he had a touchdown. It must have been taken away.
I swear he had that one touchdown. Tanyan maybe he's probably the best out of the cheaper guys.
Yeah, I might have to put him in.
This is easier. I don't know.
That's quick. This is gonna be a quick episode today.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Stephon Diggs is a really, really good option.
Yeah.
I feel like he always gets just consistent.
Maybe. We probably.
This is so hard.
This is against Carlton Davis.
AB is out. Maybe we could do if we want someone cheap, like a Scotty Miller.
Why are they both really questionable?
I don't know. I just they're probably limited. We could go for a Scotty Miller because he's gonna get more playing with AB out, and he might be cheap. We kind of need someone cheap.
Is she not? Are they? Oh,
there he is. $10.
That's pretty good. Cheap. Nice pick.
Now we kind of need another cheap guy so we can splurge a little. This is crazy. Oh my God.
So what if we get a guy that's 16? We could put in Devontae Adams. Wait, oh no,
no.
6.
6. Oh my God. Who are the other $10 options? I'm just curious. I didn't even know Kenny Stills was on the Bills.
Me too.
This is crazy, bro. This is like hard to make a lineup.
It's so slim.
I mean, I guess we'll have to go for like what Gabriel Davis? I mean, we have Diggs. Did Gabriel Davis? No, he
Yeah,
didn't even play.
Nope. Probably Hardman for 13. Yeah. Lazard, maybe. I don't know. Just checking some guys.
Ooh.
Last week first.
If he plays, that could be good.
Yeah. Number one, arguably the best pass defense. Putting up 17.
Put him in, honestly.
All right. Put him in. Flex.
And then we have what, 31? Oh. So we're going to want to do a combination of two.
A few more dollars and we could have had a beast. Oof.
Maybe we use those few dollars on like I don't know. God damn. What if we upgrade Tanyan to Kelsey?
All right. So we put Kelsey in.
And then we have
-3.
No, but we take out Tanyan, I'm saying.
I thought I clicked on so Kelsey 15, and then you could get a Jamal Williams. I actually couldn't be that bad.
No, can't do that. We'd have to do like a John Brown or something like that. What John Brown do last week? Okay, 11 targets.
It's kind of consistent.
I'm fine with that.
Take those average 10-point games. It's
all right. So let's go through. We might even be able to use that. I mean, okay, the dollar's good because if Rojo plays, then maybe you just throw Rojo in instead.
Yeah.
That's not bad to have. This is bonkers. This is this is crazy. So I mean, look, I'm looking at what we have. We have Brady, Aaron Jones, Fournette, Diggs is good. Scotty Miller, Lazard are kind of like toss-ups. Kelsey, John Brown, Chiefs D. Dude, this is weird. I mean, I get this is.
But it's probably the best.
This team could do really good.
Unless you just load it up on all the stars and then just got people who are like $5 who are not going to even play.
Are there guys who are $5? Like, what's the cheapest?
No way.
I thought it was 10. Yeah. We just put like a bump. We don't even start do you have to fill in every position?
That, I don't know. Wait. No.
Yeah, you do.
You need it.
That would have been cheese, bro.
You just get, oh my gosh. That would have been something.
Take out like the bums. Yeah. That, I doubt that. You take out like Lazard, Scotty, and John for like a Devontae Adams.
That would be a move.
I mean, how much is Devontae Adams?
He's 38.
So if we try and get $2 more somewhere else, we could get him instead of Diggs if we want. I don't know if that's even like a possibility or, I mean, if we drop Kelsey for, I'm trying to think if there's
Let me see if my brain could make it figure it out easier this way. If we put in, so we would have 24.
24, so 21. Then we could get 35. Oh, wait. Take out John Brown for Devontae Adams.
Wait, say that again? Oh, yeah.
John Brown for Devontae Adams.
There we go. Oh. I like that a little bit. Definitely better.
So we do have 3 pack. The only good thing about Kelsey is we have 0 Chiefs. I will say.
Yeah, and he's always consistent.
Yeah. So do we want? It's a question of if we want Devontae and Dawson or Kelsey and John Brown.
Well, let's see what Dawson's been doing. Probably not much. It may be Kelsey.
But Devontae's so good, right?
Whoops.
What's Devontae doing? Oh, that's not one.
All right, Devontae. I mean, 17 against Ramsey.
What did you do? Kelsey's in it.
I don't think he did much. But where the heck is it?
9. He got 9.
Yeah, that was his worst game, or second worst. Oof. Kelsey may be the move.
I mean, we could also, what's Kelsey done?
Kelsey, let's see. 20, 19, 18. Oh boy.
I think it's going to be hard for us. I mean, Devontae can go. Maybe what we do is we try and get Kelsey and Devontae and take out Diggs.
Yeah. So if we were to take out Diggs and put Kelsey here, you would have 12. And what are the Equinemius St. Brown? Oh, yeah. This
Yeah.
receiver,
Huh.
number one
How
receiver.
was Scotty Miller 10? Scroll down. Maybe there's someone that will play.
Tyler Johnson also could have opportunities.
Where else can we save money?
But hasn't been doing
Where else
much.
can we save?
What are the other running backs? I guess.
Well, no. Put Devontae at wide receiver, and then we could always throw in like a Dawson Knox or something.
Yeah, that's smart. I wonder if you look at lower running backs. He had 11 last week. Darrell Williams.
And that's 6, so then we would have 18.
He practiced, okay.
I mean, do we put Clyde in instead of Leonard, maybe?
Instead of Leonard. What is he?
And then we have 14.
So he's been
Clyde could go off, though.
Yeah.
There's potential. I just don't know.
What about EJ?
Or do we just go back to our normal lineup and just forget about Devonta?
Or we could keep it like this and then put Knox in too.
Yeah. Well, if we got up to 14, we could put John Brown. Maybe we do that. Put Clyde in for Leonard and then John Brown back in.
All right. I think I like that. Clyde in.
And then if worse comes to worse, you start Darrell Williams instead and you can adjust it.
Yeah. All right.
I like this.
Save. And
that was a weird. Why don't you read it off for the audio listeners at home?
All right. We got quarterback Tom Brady, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Aaron Jones, Scotty Miller, Devontae Adams, Allen Lazard, Travis Kelce, John Brown, and Chiefs defense. So, yeah, a little bit of a weird lineup to say the least, but
it's a good one, I think. I like that lineup. I'm not going to lie.
I think it's the best of the weirdest that we've done.
Yeah, definitely.
So, pretty solid.
Well, yeah. So yeah, that will, I guess, take us to talking about what we saw last week and then previewing the games ahead. And actually, I wonder, if we go, do you still have your bracket from when we did the brackets? Do you have your bracket on your computer?
I'm not sure.
Because I'm thinking real quick, maybe I could pull mine up, see how we're doing. So we can actually do that real quick. All right. So real quick, we'll do something a little interesting. I'll give Max some time to pull it up if he can find it.
Yeah.
So let's just look at what I got. So right now, I actually predicted 3 of the 4 teams that would be in the conference championships right here. So my bracket's looking pretty good. I mean, I've only missed. I got AFC right. I missed Seattle, and then I missed. So I missed 2 games really so far. That's pretty good. I don't know why we're pulling this up, but why not? See how we're doing.
All right.
You can't find it. You're all good.
I found mine. So let's pull it up. Yeah. So I was a bit wrong on
Well, you got 3. I guess on
Cleveland, KC. So I got the KC Buffalo picks. I mean, actually, I really only messed up my the Baltimore one. For the AFC.
And then, but on the NFC,
I had some fun with Washington, Seattle. I mean, dang, New Orleans. Okay, yeah. So I'm a bit wrong.
But in the end, we each got 3. All right, but one of your Super Bowl teams is out. Your Super Bowl champion is out. So.
Yep. So I have 3. My 3 of the teams in the conference championships are still there for me. So it's all right. It was a decent.
We did all right.
Decent.
Not bad, but yeah. So now we will jump to talking about what we saw last week. Yep. We're just going to go in order here of what we saw. So the first game being the Rams and Packers. To be honest, I didn't even watch this game too much. I actually was busy when this game was on. So I'm going to start with you here, Mac. What were your thoughts on this game, on Aaron Rodgers' performance, and I mean, Alan Lazard, our boy, had a day, so
Oh,
hopefully we
yeah.
can replicate that this week. So yeah, what were your thoughts on this one?
This was a great game by Green Bay, and you're gonna see it later when I reflect my pick for our conference championship picks. I mean, going against the number one defense in football, one of the best pass rushing defenses, one of the best coverage defenses, one of the best run defenses, and you're specifically looking at pass rush and the Packers, they allowed no sacks against Aaron Donald and all these guys. So that's going to be something I'm going to speak on later. So a lot of these things I'm going to be speaking on later of how they played this week. But for Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams, these guys to have big days against this Rams front seven, that blew my mind. You're seeing some great play, not by one of these running backs, but it seems like all these running backs. A.J. Dillon averaged the lowest amount of yards per carry and had 4.5. That just speaks volumes of how good this Packers run offense could be when they get things going. And then for Aaron Rodgers, he put up almost 300 yards and 2 touchdowns against Jalen Ramsey and this really good pass defense of the Rams. Devontae Adams, I mean, this was probably his best test of the year. I don't know who could stop him right now. If you saw what he did to Jalen Ramsey, that was Jalen Ramsey's worst game of the season. And Devontae caught 9 balls and he even got a touchdown in there. So this is great by the Packers. I think they're going to reflect it this week. But on the other hand, for the Rams, really couldn't get things going. Their defense is what's really made their team. And as you said in previous weeks, that's what carries them and what will carry them to the future. And they couldn't stop anything. All their strengths became weaknesses this game. And then we also keep speaking volumes on a player like Cam Akers, especially going against his run defense of the Green Bay Packers. He averaged 5 yards per carry, but had 18 carries with an injured Jared Goff. I mean, you can't really see that. You can't be having 18 carries with an injured quarterback, and you know you're going against a defense that struggles against the run, and your running back has been putting up crazy numbers the past 3-4 weeks. You can't have 18 carries, and I think if that number was up, maybe 7 carries, and you had about 25, this game really could have been different. It could have helped a lot, even just a few carries. But in Jared Goff's case, he completed the ball. He just wasn't able to get the big yards, wasn't able to get the big gains. And you're looking at receivers and Robert Woods, a player who needed to step up without Cooper Kupp. He didn't play well. You had to see Josh Reynolds come up, make some catches. But really, this game all came down to the defense of the Rams and then the pass offense of the Rams also not being able to get going, especially considering the limited amount of carries that they gave Cam Akers.
Yeah, I like a lot of what you said there. I mean, starting with the Rams here, you see how Jared Goff did. You know, he was injured. He's banged up. He played pretty well. You know, there's turmoil apparently with him and McVay, so we'll see what happens there this offseason. Cam Akers, he ran the ball well, but like you said, I mean, it's not like they had a bunch of backups who got like 10 carries as well and were doing well. They had 19 carries, including one from Jared Goff. That really cannot happen with this team. This team needs to run the football. We said our emphasis on last week's episode was running the football is going to win games. You're going to see the teams that run the football well are going to be the teams that win the game. And the Packers in the end outran them. I mean, Aaron Jones was more dominant. They also had Jamal Williams and A.J. Dillon. You see they rushed the ball here, 32, 36 times if you count Aaron Rodgers. That's what wins the game, running the ball. And like you said, the pass attack was there. And the only way the Rams were going to win this game was with their defense. If their defense showed up and played a stellar game, and they just didn't. They allowed 32 points. The Packers offense did kind of get shut down a little bit in the second half. They toned it down, but the offense couldn't get it going. So, in terms of the passing game, I'm not sold on Robert Woods as, a stud weapon. I just think, he's this all right guy who kind of always has been there. He's good, but, this offense kind of needs a revamp for me. Cam Akers seems like he'll be a star. He's, a great guy to have as your running back in the future. Who knows what's in store for Jared Goff? He had a relatively solid season. He's banged up, but the receiving core, the tight ends are, they're whatever, but they got to get him more involved. I mean, you've got 2 guys in Tyler Higbee and Gerald Everett who are 2 great tight ends, and, they're combining for 2 catches for 5 yards. That can't really happen. You're not going to win football games when you don't use your tight ends like that. The Packers, they're using Robert Tonyan 4 for 60. They got guys like Mercedes Lewis are great blockers. So, overall, really good win for the Packers. And, on the flip side for the Rams, it was good they got to the playoffs, good they won a game. So I think it's a successful season for them after missing the playoffs. But we'll see. It might be time to reset some of those pieces on the offense, and we'll see what happens.
Yep, for sure.
This one was a low-scoring one in
Okay.
Buffalo. 17-3, the Buffalo Bills are one win away from the Super Bowl. That is crazy. Lamar Jackson left the game late with a concussion or had to enter the protocol. I'm going to start with you here, Mac. I mean, really low-scoring game, really, came down to the end, and really that Lamar pick six was kind of the decider. I mean, that's what separated this game, obviously. So what were your thoughts on the game? What were your thoughts on the Bills win?
Honestly, I don't even know much about this game. I think I saw the first quarter, and then I honestly just crashed. So, this based off my memory of the highlights and the few things I saw. But Josh Allen, he did what he had to do against this Ravens defense, and I think 206 yards. That's great stepping stone going against this great secondary of the Ravens. And then you're going to a player like Stephon Diggs. How could he do against these elite cornerbacks, Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters, and he drops 106 yards? That is insane. This guy cannot be stopped. I think him and Devontae Adams are the two receivers that almost rarely ever will get shut down right now. And Stephon Diggs proved that. I mean, he's gonna have a big game this week, and that's gonna be the key for them winning now on. But I kind of briefly mentioned this last week, the running game. Well, we generally spoke about the running game, but for the Bills, I mentioned they have to run the ball against this defense, and especially considering how good their pass defense is. We're not able to do it, and they still were able to come away with a win. Only ran the ball, what is that, 16 times? I mean, 7 of them coming from Josh Allen, and yeah, so that's really not going to cut it. I don't know if you're going to be able to score against some of these better teams like the Chiefs. Running the ball that little, you're gonna have to control the clock. But on the flip side for the Ravens, as you said, Lamar Jackson left early, Tyler Huntley came in, but it kind of starts with this. We were speaking of how Lamar was kind of turning back to his 2019 form and running the ball really well. This week he came out 9 carries, but didn't do anything, didn't do crap. 3.8 yards per carry, 9 carries, 34 yards. How are you going to win? Normally, this guy's your leading rusher when you're winning games over these running backs. You don't have him as your leading rusher. He's number 3 on your team. You're not going to win games. So you see those numbers and you're thinking, oh, some of these other guys, they got to be going off if Lamar Jackson's not leading there or 1 or 2. Leading or first or second in their run game that week. Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins didn't really do much either, combined for 20 carries. So that's kind of a low point for them. They got to get back to running the ball and figuring that out. That's their identity, and they weren't able to do it. But one guy said has to have a decent game. Marquise Brown, how could he do against a cornerback like Trey White, 87 yards, only 4 catches? But that's a stepping stone in the right direction. I think he could be a good complementary piece there in the future. But Ravens didn't run the ball well, and the Bills, Stephon Diggs is really key for them.
Yeah, I think the Ravens season, if you're looking back on this season, people are saying this team would be one of the best in the league. This team should be the favorites. They're going to be unstoppable. Their offensive weapons is honestly just pathetic. I mean, this team has no weapons whatsoever. I mean, Willie Snead, Miles Boykin, Des Bryant, like, dude, this is a joke. Like, the problem what they're running into is they've spent all this money on the defense, and then O-line also has a lot of money too with the contract of Bronny Stanley now. They've spent way too much money at those positions. They have completely forgot about wide receiver, and I mean, Mark Andrews had a good season, but I've talked about this in the past. That tight end group last year was a key reason why this offense was so successful. They had Mark Andrews, Nick Boyle, and Hayden Hurst. Those 3 were beasts. They were able to, get open. They were really key weapons for Lamar. You take away 2 of those guys this year, you just have Mark Andrews, and the passing attack kind of just fell off. I mean, Lamar Jackson had a terrible season passing. He couldn't pass the ball, and yes, he had his MVP season, but this makes you think, our defense is figuring him out. What's going on? The running game for him this season, it was good, but it was good towards the end. But here, 9 for 34, they can't happen. This team has to run the ball better, like you said. They ran the ball, 30 times, but what did they get? Like 110 yards? That's not really great. I'm not counting Tyler Huntley because that was kind of just in the garbage time there. But 30 for 110 when you're supposed to be, this dominant rushing attack is just not acceptable. And on the flip side, their defense did their thing. Their defense did what they had to. They limited this Bills offense to 17 points. That's what, that's as low as about you're going to get this Bills offense to. And even one was a pick 6. So really 10 points from the Bills offense. And, you got to score points. You got to get in the end zone. That's the key. Obviously it was a windy game. There was a bunch of missed field goals on both sides, but you got to get in the end zone. That's the key here. And the team that won the game was the team that got in the end zone. Josh Allen played good. The running attack, like we said, it's just non-existent in Buffalo. It's going to be something they need to fix in the future. I don't know if Zach Moss is going to be the future there. He's obviously out for the season with an injury, but the passing attack is great. Stephon Diggs is a superstar. You've talked about and you touched on John Brown. They get involved. They still have Cole Beasley, 0 catches for a second team or all pro. The fact that he got that is ridiculous. But their defense played great. Their defense held Lamar. We'll see what happens this week, obviously, against the Chiefs. It looks like Pat's good to go. And we'll touch on that next. But yeah, overall, good win for Buffalo. They proved that, they don't have to, their defense is elite, and they can stop any attack maybe not the Chiefs, but they passed the test again this week. But yeah, we'll see what happens this week. And that'll take me to the tough one.
Oh boy.
The Cleveland Browns could not beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And I've got a lot to say on this game, so I'll start it off here. First of all, Baker Mayfield played a fantastic game, about as good as you could see from this young man. The stats really don't reflect it, but this offense really, had their struggles. He should have had another touchdown. The Browns, obviously the fumble, we'll talk about it in a sec, but Baker Mayfield played a great game. He hasn't turned the ball over a lot. The one interception, it wasn't his best read, but, you can't necessarily blame the guy. No one was open. He was trying to make a pass, trying to get the chains moving. They had to. Didn't work out there. So Baker Mayfield, fantastic game. You've proved yourself as the quarterback of the future. The running game was non-existent in the first half. I mean, they really didn't run the ball in the first half, and that's why I think they ended up losing this game, is they couldn't get the run game going. And I don't know if that's because Jedrick Wills went out in the first quarter. I don't know what the deal was, but they couldn't get the run game going. Kareem Hunt really had no touches in the first half. That was also a problem. Kareem Hunt was not getting involved. And you heard Kareem Hunt say, like, oh, I want to play this week. Well, why is he not out there more? And you got to use those running backs. They had to combine 19 carries. To me, that's not enough for this team in terms of them, being this dominant running team. You gotta run the ball more there. The Rashard Higgins fumble, it's got to be a lesson to people to stop reaching out for the goal line. I know, everyone says they tell their teams, but you can't risk it. The rule is, it's stupid, it's dumb, but the missed helmet to helmet or targeting or whatever you want to call it, that can't happen, because that obviously, that's the reason he lost the football, is when you get hit like that, your body just reacts in a way that is not going to permit you to hold the football. So that's a terrible missed call. You see Jarvis got a touchdown. You see him using, he didn't really use, Njoku had a huge game. That was a big game for Njoku. They used him well. The defense, really couldn't stop Mahomes when he was in this game. I mean, Chad Henne, we'll get to, that in a quick second here, but the defense really couldn't stop Mahomes. It just seemed like they were scoring and putting points on the board. They did keep him out of the end zone. I will say that, 2 total touchdowns for the Chiefs is something to be proud of if you're the Cleveland Browns, regardless of if Mahomes missed the majority of the second half. But on the flip side here, the reason the Chiefs won this game, in my opinion, was Darrell Williams. Darrell Williams had a fantastic game on the ground, and we've really emphasized the need of running the football. And 13 for 78, this team was expected to be a non-factor in the run game, and he was able to turn, get first yards, get yardage. That makes a difference. And obviously, the 2 top guys, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, they're superstars. And, the speed kills, and you really saw the Browns secondary. They got burned by the speed. They got burned by McCole Hardman. They got burned by Tyreek Hill. And, Chad Henne comes in. He gave him a chance with the interception. There was some terrible clock management. Gave the Chiefs the ball. You 3rd and long, runs, great play, and then Andy Reid draws up a great play. So great coaching. Chad Henne got the job done. Tough loss for the Browns. Their fans and the team should be proud of what they accomplished. But overall, really tough loss. I feel like they should have won this one. Obviously, if Mahomes is in, they probably will not win this one. But still, glad Mahomes is doing okay, first of all. But tough loss for the Cleveland Browns.
Yep. I'm going to start off with the running game for the Browns. And as you said, the carries, 19 carries, just not enough. You see they're averaging 5.3 each. And also you said Kareem Hunt, before and coming into this game, he says he wants to play. This is the team that cut him after that incident a few years ago. He wants his revenge. And it kind of seemed like he was starting to prove it towards the end of the game. So it makes no sense to me why you wouldn't put him in. You only put him in for 6 carries. And really, it seemed like not even at all in the first half. I could be wrong if maybe he had a carry or 2 in the first half, but I don't think he did. So this is all.
I don't think he did, yeah.
Yeah, you had to get him involved, and 19 carries isn't going to cut it. This has to be a team running the ball 30 times, maybe even more than 30 times a game if you want to win. If you want to win these games, you got to start with the run and then let Baker Mayfield do his thing. And as you said, Baker Mayfield had a better game than than the stats say. Oh my, I was messing those up. But I mean, one interception, bad read. The only problem I have with it was that's a key down, a key situation. You had to make a play,
Yeah.
and you had to go down and score, and you make the wrong read, throw an interception. I think you just had to get the ball out of his hand, try and throw that away. But that's the problems with the young quarterbacks. You're going to expect that, and they're going to grow over time and in the next few years. So Baker Mayfield has a lot to look forward to in his for the rest of his career and in future years. But going down to that Rashard Higgins play, I mean, of course, and I think you said it perfectly, quite well. He reached out for the end zone. Maybe not the best decision, but that helmet to helmet hit, it should have been called. That's the reason they call those hits. And you also said this perfectly. Your body will react in a way that you can't control. You're going to lose the ball, obviously, and that's why that's supposed to be a penalty. Helmet to helmet, you're most likely going to lose the ball. That should have been called, and that should have been a touchdown. And that was really the difference in this game. The Browns should have won if that wasn't called. And I think that was really a momentum shifter for this entire team. But on the other hand, for the Chiefs, offense, they did their thing. Of course, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, they're going to kill you with speed and consistency. Those are two players who show up every game, every down when you need them the most, and they show up. And you're going to Darrell Williams, like you said before. Great game, made some key plays. But really, it was Chad Henne in the end when he came and won this game for them. He had that one interception, and you really needed those Browns to come back and capitalize off that, but they were unable to do so. They thought they could stop the offense with Chad Henne in it. They couldn't do it. Great play design by Andy Reid. That was some of the best coaching I'll ever see with a backup quarterback in there. So credit to them. But I'm proud of the Browns. I think they played well. Just should have ran the ball more, and defensively they played great, especially against this insanely good Kansas City Chiefs offense.
Not much more to say than that. Tough loss for the Brownies, though. It hurts. It does hurt.
Next year.
This one is one I'm excited to talk about. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mr. Mac Rommel's been hating on them all year. He's been texting me after these games saying they have no chance against the Green Bay Packers, but we'll get to that shortly. Yep. You obviously see the return of Rojo, so I think it's actually good we took Rojo out. I didn't realize he really played so much last week. But Drew Brees, last game ever potentially, still hasn't come out and said he's retired, so we don't know. They had that trick play with Jameis. That was cool. But 3 interceptions, 130 yards. It just seems like the end is here. It just seems like he's out of gas, out of steam. Michael Thomas, 0 catches. He got locked up. He apparently was dealing with some big injuries. He's having huge surgeries at the end of the year. But Mac, I'm going to start with you. What were your thoughts on this game and everything that occurred?
I just wanted Tom Brady to get 26 more yards. For those of you that don't know, if he got 26 more yards, I had a good chance at winning draft tickets to next year's draft. So that got me tight. But I was rooting for the Bucs at that point. But overall, first off, I'm just going to say with Drew Brees, last game, that's not the way you want to go out. And this entire game really was because of Drew Brees. I don't think that this game would have been close if Drew Brees didn't have those 3 turnovers. You looked at what they did in the first quarter, really shut the Buccaneers out. They put some points up, and they were controlling the clock, just controlling everything. Their special teams was going off. When Harris got injured, things kind of turned around. Most of these turnovers, I'm going to say, they really weren't because of good plays on the Buccaneers defense. They were because of bad plays by Drew Brees. And that's something you're not going to see often. So overall, this was a bad performance by Drew Brees, and I think he cost them the game. And I saw a stat, I don't remember the exact amount of points, but almost all the points that the Buccaneers scored were off the turnovers of the Saints, the fumble and the 3 interceptions. So if those turnovers weren't there, the Saints really could have knocked the crap out of the Buccaneers this week. And then you saw Alvin Kamara, the run game was going well, and Drew Brees wasn't. I'm surprised they didn't get him the ball more. You had to get him the ball more once you saw Drew Brees making his mistakes. I'm not sure if that was because they wanted Drew Brees to have a good potential final game or not, but if you wanted to win this game and make it to the NFC Championship, you had to switch things around and get Alvin Kamara the ball. They didn't do that, and that's a big reason for the loss. So this game is more on the Saints messing things up in the turnovers than it was the Buccaneers actually winning. But credit to the Buccaneers, and I guess the most important thing I'll say is those turnovers, all the points came off of it, and that's what you really want to see. You don't want to get turnovers and not get the points. Buccaneers got the turnovers and got the points, but this week versus Packers and Aaron Rodgers, who doesn't throw many turnovers, you're going to have to start putting some drives together, unlike they were doing in the beginning of this game.
Great game from the Buccaneers is what I got to say. And, look, the turnovers, you can say what you want about if they're cheap or not. The fumble sure wasn't. That was a great play by Antoine Winfield. And, Drew Brees just, I think it's just been clear this year that he's out of gas. He doesn't have it anymore. You look at a guy like Brady who's older than him. Brady had a great year. Brady clearly still has the talent, the arm speed to get there. But I agree with you. The Deontay Harris injury was key. I mean, you saw on those punt returns, he housed one at one point that got called back. He, first possession, the Saints had, they were right there, like in the red zone, I think maybe. That wins you these games. And that was a momentum shifter. But on the Buccaneers offensively, they didn't turn over the ball. That's huge. We saw in that game, I think it was like it was Sunday night game against New Orleans. They turned the ball over a lot. I mean, that was I'll actually check in there, 38-3 loss. Tom Brady had 3 interceptions. So, and, Drew Brees had 0. So you kind of can see the tail of the tape with these two teams is really the turnover. And it seems like one team is dominating it each time they've played. And in this case, the Buccaneers won the turnover battle. They forced 4 and they didn't turn over the ball. Brady played great. Obviously, Mike Evans getting locked up is just comical at this point. 1 for 3 and a touchdown. It's just like, goodness gracious. But Godwin played good. He uses all his weapons. And the run game, I mean, this is what you want to see. 30 carries for 125 yards. Great job with Rojo and Leonard Fournette there combining to get the run game going. That's what you want to see there. And, Brady, it was a tough defense. It was a tougher defense than he's going to face this week, I would say. And he threw 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, didn't turn the ball. That's the key. Special teams, they were good. Defense, they were good. You see all these studs. And, the key this week, they might get Vita Vea back. If they get Vita Vea back, this team all of a sudden really could have a good chance to win this whole thing, honestly. I think Vita Vea could be a difference maker and allow them to even go and, beat the Chiefs or the Bills. We'll see what happens. But that's all I got to say on that. So I don't know if you have anything more, if you want to jump right in to the Buccaneers once again against the Packers.
All right. I think we're ready to jump in. I don't know if you want to start off with the Chiefs or not, because this one may get a little bit a little spicy.
We can start with the Chiefs.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So these Bills, a little less controversial here, in my opinion.
Yep.
I'm not sure how this. Oh, because the Bills played in the wild card. Okay. I was wondering how the wins and losses added up. I was a little confused, but I'll start here. This one for me is going to be the Chiefs, assuming Pat Mahomes is going to play, and I believe he's all cleared, so he should be good. Pat Mahomes says he's cleared to play. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs here. I just don't think the Chiefs are really stoppable. I mean, you kind of see this team when they try, it just really isn't fair. And I know they've had, a close win against the Cleveland Browns last week, but Pat Mahomes was out for the third. If he's in there, they probably score 40 points in that game. So we'll see what happens. But Buffalo, these past 2 weeks have looked a little lackluster on the offensive side. They played 2 great defenses. This will be the easiest defense they play. But the Chiefs play a hard battle. They might not have the stars on defense. They do have Tyrann Mathieu, Chris Jones, obviously, but they're gonna play hard. Dirty Dan Sorensen, he'll get you in there some point. So you got to watch out. You got to see what they do. This team's really good. It's going to be a tough team to beat. And like I've said, I'm not going to be able to really pick against the Chiefs. I know I did last week out of kind of a fandom thing, but I'm not going to be able to pick against the Chiefs here. So I'm going to take the Chiefs. But the Bills, great team. If they get that offense moving and this becomes a shootout, the Bills can easily win this game. It's going to be a good game, but I do have the Chiefs in this one.
Yep. I think you summed that up perfectly. The Chiefs, you really can't root against them right now. They're Super Bowl picks for a reason. They go to the Super Bowl. They are both in both of our Super Bowl brackets for a reason. And the Bills, they're gonna have a tough job this weekend. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce especially. I mean, this guy is probably the most consistent player in the league. He's there. Third down, third and long, he'll be there wide open, make a play. Even if he's not, he'll somehow come up with a first down. That's what's special about this team. I mean, they could turn nothing into something really quick, no matter the down and distance or what it is offensively. And that's why they're so special, aside from just having Patrick Mahomes, who's going to be back this week. But then you put on the flip side for the Kansas City defense, they have some players, as you said, Tyrann Mathieu and Chris Jones. I mean, you can't count out the rookie, L'Jarius Sneed, who's been balling out this year.
Yes.
So this game, I think Stephon Diggs, every game he's going to ball out, but this defense is going to have to put up a fight against this Bills offense and passing offense. I know the Bills offense, the run offense specifically, it's probably not going to get going. It really hasn't gotten going for almost the entire
It's not going to be going. Let's hear it.
But so it's really the Bills to
contain Josh though.
Yeah, it's just the Bills passing offense versus Kansas City entire defense, and I think L'Jarius Sneed and Tyrann Mathieu on the deep end are going to try and prevent some of these deeper plays that happen from some of those more speedy guys on the Buffalo side. But offensively for the Bills, defensively for the Bills, I think they could have a chance of putting up a good fight versus Kansas City Chiefs offense. They got players at the linebacker position, defensive line, cornerback, safeties. So I think this is a team out of every team in the AFC that has a chance to beat the Chiefs. But right now, I think the Chiefs, they're just too unstoppable. Just come clutch in every situation they could possible. Probably have the best coach in the NFL right now. So can't root against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think that's pretty well said, but should be a good one. And I know, my grandma's a big Buffalo fan, so if they do win, I'd be happy for her. But now moving on to the one that's we strongly disagree on, and this segment, depending on how it goes, might end up on OTA clips, depending on how it goes here. Bucks, Packers. We both have different opinions here, Mac. I'm going to start with you. I know who you're picking, but explain to me why you think the Green Bay Packers are going to win this football game.
Yep, Packers are going to win this one. And I'm going to start off by saying, you keep bringing up, we were texting right after the Buccaneers won last week. You kept saying, there's no shot. The Buccaneers, they destroyed the Packers last time. And you also said they've been on fire recently. But also have the Packers after those 3 losses early on in November. They've been hot ever since, and they've quite honestly played the better teams since that point than the Buccaneers have. The Buccaneers have played teams like the Lions, the Falcons twice, the Panthers. Some of these.
I mean, the Packers play the Lions too.
Yeah, but they had teams like the Titans. They had the Bears, a better defense, and they're still lighting all these teams up on fire. You have Aaron Rodgers, who actually, I'm going to go back to that game. He had 2 turnovers. He didn't even have 2 interceptions specifically. He didn't even have 5 interceptions on the entire season. That's not going to happen again. You're going against the Buccaneers pass defense that's ranked 21st in the league. You have Devontae Adams going against Carlton Davis. That's a matchup. You saw what he did last week versus Jalen Ramsey. There's absolutely no way that they could stop Devontae Adams in this pass offense, especially in the conditions, considering that I think it's going to be snowing or something like that during this game. That's when the Packers quite honestly play best. I mean, yeah, I don't even really know what to say. You got weapons all over. Robert Tonyan, who broke out a huge red zone threat, and then especially once he gets the red zone, this is the best offense in the league in converting touchdowns. They're the second best offense, I believe, in third down percentage. So it's really hard to get this Packers offense off the field. And if you're thinking about the pressure, the defense of the Buccaneers, what they're going to do to the Packers have the second best, actually not second best. They give up the second fewest sacks on the entire season. And that's kind of the strength, I believe, this Packers defense is the pass rush that they have, and they also can stop the run. So I should probably mention that Packers probably going to struggle to run the ball. They're going to have to get the passing game going if they're going to want to win. But I don't really think the pass rush is going to get there for either team. These are 2 of the best teams what's the words? At not allowing sacks. That's what I should say. So that's probably going to be a non-factor in this game. It's really going to become who could pass the ball, and I think the Packers right now are going to have a better chance at that. Aaron Rodgers doesn't turn the ball over. Devontae Adams, arguably the best receiver in the league. And then on the other hand, for the Buccaneers, Antonio Brown, I do think that's a big loss. That's taking the eyes away from some of these defenders. You're going to have a clear shot at where the ball is going to go. Scotty Miller last week, we believe he's has a chance to break out, but he's not this guy that's consistently making plays in an offense. So it's really just going to be Gronk, Evans, and Godwin. Jair Alexander, Kevin King. This pass defense is one of the best in the league this year. It's going to be hard for the Buccaneers to really pass. And I think it's going to come down, whoever can get a turnover will win this game. And I think Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Trusty, the MVP candidate, isn't going to throw a turnover. And I think the Buccaneers are going to lose this game.
I'm just going to go back in time for a little bit. Just check out what happened. So it's 38-10. I don't want to focus on the score here. I want to focus on the run game. Aaron Jones 10 for 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to start off by saying no Vita Vea too here. The Green Bay Packers are not going to run the ball here. They're not going to be able to get the run game going. They're going to have to rely on the pass here, right? So that's the first thing. Ronald Jones tore up this defense. You know the Packers' run defense isn't very good. So you know Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette are going to run the ball very well. And one thing we've talked about a lot has been running the ball. The team that runs the ball better tends to win the game. Obviously, we didn't see that with Buffalo, but the Ravens didn't really dominate in the run game. So I'm going to use that as an exception.
All right.
I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to dominate the run game. I think they're going to dominate the line of scrimmage. I think if Vita Vea plays, Aaron Rodgers is going to be taking some sacks. I mean, let's look at sacks here. They sacked him, 4-5 times in this game, 5 sacks.
Yep.
So they definitely get the pressure. They've got one of the best linebacker units in the league with Devin White and Lavonte David. Imagine Shaq Barrett's playing. That'd be scary. But he's obviously out, I believe, right? Shaq Barrett's out? Yeah.
Oh, is he?
It might be out. If he's playing.
I'll look it up.
Lord. No, he was playing. Okay. You got Shaq Barrett in there? I think he's healthy. Yeah, Shaq Barrett playing. Yeah, Shaq Barrett should be healthy. I don't know if he had as great a year this year. Just looking at the stats, it looked like he had 8 sacks. Okay, he had a good year. So Shaq Barrett's in there. Yeah, so you've got one of the best linebacking cores in the league. You got a great secondary. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is great, but look what happened last time. They put the pressure on him, and he panicked. He turned over the ball, got sacked. That's going to be the key here for the Bucs here, and they know that. They know that they're going to have to get the pressure on Aaron Rodgers. They're going to have to get in his face, make him make bad passes, bad decisions. And, obviously, I think if Aaron Jones gets going, I think the Packers are probably going to win this game, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Bucs are really good at stopping the run. Obviously, Kamara did do that last week, but on the flip side, they stopped the pass. So, I mean, if you trade that in, then the Bucs really got a good shot of winning because I think the pass is way more valuable to the Packers than the run is.
Yep.
And I agree with you in terms of Antonio Brown. I think that's a big loss, bigger than people may think. Obviously, the stats aren't necessarily like huge for AB, huge, but I don't know why I said huge twice there, but he's a presence on the field. He takes coverage away. You got to guard the guy. You got to make sure you pay attention to him. Rather, Scotty Miller, he's good. He had a nice catch last week, but he's not the same presence. So maybe we'll see Brady rely more on that tight end target in Gronk and Brate here. But I do think the Bucs are going to win this game. I think that D-line, that defense is going to be the difference maker here. Obviously, Devontae Adams will have a great game. Man, we'll see. I just believe that Tom Brady and this Bucs offense is going to get it going enough, and I think that defense is going to be able to hold off Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. It's going to be a great game regardless, but I do think the Buccaneers are going to win.
I honestly could have given this to the Buccaneers if last week's Packers game went a little bit different. I mean, you're looking at the numbers. They didn't give him a sack against Aaron Donald, as I said before. Their pass offense was cooking. The Rams' pass defense, literally every part of their offense was hitting on all cylinders against the best defense in the NFL. Buccaneers, I know they're up there. Their pass defense is struggling, but it's really that front seven, and that's going to be a key to this game, as you said. But last week and how the Packers played against an even better front seven, and they stopped them. I'm just not sure. And Packers, I think last week kind of confirmed for me that I think they have a good chance at stopping them now. And it kind of reassured me again from that previous game early on in the season, I think week 6 against the Buccaneers, that maybe now they have an even better shot at stopping the pass rush.
Well, I think, if you want to talk about how the Packers have gotten better, but at the same time, you look at the Bucs secondary, they got 3 interceptions and a fumble last week. So, I mean, we can also play that game with the Bucs secondary and say, hey, the Bucs secondary got better too. So, you can play whatever game you want with that. Both teams have improved for sure, but the Bucs offense has also improved. Obviously, no AB, but it seems like they're more on the same page. But we'll see what happens. Regardless, it's going to be a great game. 2 great teams on both these games. So we're really spoiled. But Tom Brady, man, I also we haven't talked about that. Tom Brady, it's Tom Brady. The guy doesn't lose in the playoffs.
Yeah,
doesn't lose in the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers, he loses in the playoffs.
And honestly, like aside from either team winning, I think this has a chance to be arguably the best game of the year. I wouldn't be surprised.
Really?
If it turns out become one of the better games of the year. The 2 passing offenses, and I think the weather too. The snow. If both teams start hitting on all cylinders, I think this could be a great game to watch. I mean, maybe aside from our predictions, I think this could be a high-scoring game somehow with the conditions that really could affect things. But I think this could be one of the best of the year.
No doubt. Well, that actually got me thinking, next week, it's kind of an intermediate week. We'll obviously preview the Super Bowl. Next week, though, we will do NFL awards predictions.
Yep, I just the same thing on my mind.
The NFL honors is going to come up. So we will predict those awards, give our predictions, and we'll also do some other awards like Game of the Year. We'll create our own awards too. So we'll have that for you guys next week as well, or maybe we'll even put that on OTA clips. We'll see. Honestly, it might be good for the main channel, so we'll probably put it in, but maybe we'll upload it also to OTA clips or something like that. Like we said, stay tuned for that. There's a lot of content coming out there. We've posted 4 times in 2 weeks already. So if you want more content from us, want to stay up to date with what's going on in sports, that's a great place to check that stuff out. Content comes out quick there. So, as soon as stuff starts going, it's going to be up on there. So That's kind of all I got for today. I don't know if you have anything else or if you want to wrap it up, but
All
if
right.
you got something else, I'm I'm good. But otherwise, I'm good to wrap it up.
Yep, I think we're good. But everyone, as you said with OTA clips, everyone go make sure to check that channel out. Especially we did some free agency MLB predictions last weekend. There's still a ton of free agency left in the MLB. So go over there, check out what we said, and that would be great for all you baseball fans. And soon enough, we should probably mention this. We're going to be doing a lot more baseball once the season ends.
Yes.
We're going to start figuring out some basketball things, and most importantly, we're going to try getting guests on here, some fantasy guys.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of things loaded up for you guys. OTA clips and this are going to be rolling really soon.
Yep. And for sure. And like Max said with the guests, we haven't reached out to a lot of people in a while. So, like we said, we want to keep growing the channel, but we are going to get some strong guests on. We've already had guys who are willing to come on. They were just busy, but I expect after the Super Bowl, a lot more guests expect to come on to the podcast, as well as a lot more content. That's what we're doing. Also the audio versions are linked down below. Go follow us on Apple Podcast or Spotify, whatever you listen to podcasts on. The audio version, these are on there. So if you want to give that a listen, give us a follow there. That'd be very appreciated as well. But I'll let Mac wrap this one up for us.
All right, everyone. As always, it was a pleasure doing this for you guys. We thank you all for tuning in and watching. Please make sure to go over to OTA Clips on YouTube. We're going to be dropping the link in the description of this video. That we're going to be posting shorter clips there, as we've said, more enjoyable, maybe more fun kind of things with friends, less straight to, I guess, less debates. More debates, but less kind of stricter, serious kind of things.
Yeah, it's more like breaking news. It's not. This has been. The main channel's kind of been just like previewing the NFL, but that stuff's kind of focuses really on one specific thing. I would say one specific story rather than talking about things as a whole.
Yep, perfect way to say that. Everyone, as always, thank you for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on our social medias. My Instagram is mac.rommel. Griffin's Instagram is
Griffin Senek.
And our podcast Instagram is Outside the Arena Podcast. Please feel free to reach out to us there. Give us any recommendations if you guys know any guests that would be willing to come on, or if you guys just want to chat simply. But we thank you all for watching. Everyone, we hope you stay safe and enjoy your championship weekend.